Hi, I'm Brian English, forum name Hyperbytes, and welcome to part 4 of the Introduction to Wappler Extensions series. And in this episode we're going to be adding the option to be able to input some dynamic data to the module itself, and we'll just look then subsequently at how we parse that data, etc. So if I go back into my module HJSON, what you'll see is that we have at the moment just a name input and a output. What I'm going to do is just going to edit in now another section here. I'm going to give it a name, and we'll just call this my data. So I need to quote that. So that set the name of that, and then we also have option name. Notice the capitalization there. I'm just going to call that the same thing. See, I've explained these inputs previously, so you should understand what they are. Title, and the title will be the title that obviously appears in the input prefix. I'll just say data input, keep it simple. We need the data type. That's going to be text input. We'll look at other types of input as we work through the course. Required. I'm going to say that's true, otherwise that has to be put in, otherwise you will get an error state flagged. I'll put a default value clause in, but we'll leave that null. Server data bindings is the next one. This allows us to use the data picker to select the server bindings. Set that most certainly to true. And then lastly we have a help. Come on, Brian. Input some data. Will do. And there we are. Now we have that complete new section in our HJSON code. I'm going to save that. What do we need to do now? Yeah, well, we go back. We're back in standard Wappler server area, so we don't need to worry about redeploying to Docker containers, etc. We're straight back into Wappler, and we should now see that input screen has updated, and now we will have a, just remove this off the screen. So let's have a look now. Let's go into my modules, my first module. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to add it back in again. And now you see we have that data input action, and we also have a data picker because we set server bindings to true. So what I'm going to do, I think, I will just do a very simple, I actually don't have a data connection set up here, so I'm just going to very quickly add one into my project. I always keep a shared cloud database lurking in the background, so I can make it very easy to do. That's how easy these things are to do in Wappler. So where was I? I was in my input, I was going to add a simple data query in there. I'm going to go to a people table. I'm just going to add all the fields in, and then within my my module there, you can see we can add that data query into that. The exclamation mark appears because we've added that mandatory input. I'm going to set that to output, and I'm going to save that. Let's go into our JS. I'm going to make a minor change. I'm going to, first of all, I just should have mentioned, you can put common name. Name is the name of the that you've given to your particular thing. So this name would return module 1. It's passed separately rather than being in the main options. And if you remember, in our HJSON we have called that my data. So within our function it will be returned as options dot my data. And at this stage I'm not doing anything more than I'm going to return what's been sent. And if all goes well now, if I go into my module and I fire that up, you'll see that what we return is the data set that we've done. I've got a plug-in here that turns it into a more readable JSON. So we see there's our query, but actually our module doesn't return that query. It just sends the word query back, which really isn't a lot of help. That's because we have to go on to another stage following this, and that is to parse that query, and that will then allow us to return the data itself. So rather than doing that in this module, I'm going to do that in module 5 to follow this. So just a quick recap what we've done so you understand it. We've added just this section in here. We've then returned whatever was sent to it through that my data input we've created, and we've obviously updated our module there. So what we'll do is next module we'll look at how we parse that and get that actual data that we need.